Welcome to Stealth Stoicism. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us, often without fully realizing why. Why do narcissists go out of their way to tear down the people closest to them? It's no accident that you've encountered narcissists. These relationships can be intense, confusing, and leave lasting emotional scars. But what really drives them to hurt you? Is it malice, insecurity, or something even deeper? Narcissists operate from a place of inner emptiness, a void they're constantly trying to fill, often at the expense of others. But once you learn to recognize their patterns, you can break free from their grip and reclaim your inner strength. Today, I'll explain the mechanisms behind their behavior and show you how to not only survive these relationships, but come out stronger on the other side. Make sure you stick around until the end. The final point will not only surprise you, but help you take back control. Subscribe to me, activate the bell at the bottom right, and write me an algorithm comment. Thank you very much. Number 1. Narcissists and their fear of losing control. Narcissists don't really want to destroy you. They want to secure their control over you. Their fear of losing that control is so overwhelming that they'll do anything to keep you emotionally dependent on them. Imagine you're like the sun, and the narcissist is a planet orbiting around you. Your strength, your light, it draws them in, but at the same time, it threatens them. The narcissist sees your value, sometimes even more than you do yourself. But instead of lifting you up, they try to dim your light, afraid you'll realize just how powerful you really are. The solution? Recognize your worth and maintain your independence. Narcissists lose their power when you no longer rely on their approval. Number 2. Why they idealize and devalue you. Narcissists swing between two extremes. They put you on a pedestal because they want to bask in your strengths, but the moment you trigger their insecurities, they knock you down. This behavior comes from their fragile self-esteem. As long as you meet their expectations, you're perfect. But the second you show strength, independence, or set boundaries, they feel threatened and lash out. So, how do you protect yourself? Stay emotionally grounded and detached, like a rock that their waves can't move. Don't get blinded by their praise or shaken by their criticism. Set firm boundaries so they can't drain your energy to soothe their insecurities. And if someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, be ready to take action, whether that means limiting contact or cutting ties altogether. Show them you mean business. When you stop feeling responsible for their mood swings, you won't take their attacks personally. Remember, their reactions are often reflections of their own inner struggles, not your actual flaws. Know your worth. Your light is yours alone. Don't let anyone dim it. Your inner peace is like an invisible shield that protects you. Once you grasp that, their emotional roller coaster loses its power to throw you off balance. You are the architect of your own strength, and no one else's mood can control that. Number 3. Their hunger for validation. Narcissists are like a bottomless pit. They crave recognition, but they can never truly absorb it. Your praise or love only fills that void temporarily. That's why they try to pull you into a cycle of dependence. They take your energy, your attention, but it's never enough. The narcissist needs a constant supply because without it, they feel like they'll fall apart. Once you recognize this, you can protect yourself. By holding on to your energy and stopping the effort to fill their emptiness, you strip them of the power to emotionally drain you. Number 4. Why they seek control. For narcissists, control is like an invisible net they weave around themselves, a delicate but tight structure that props them up and hides their insecurities. In a world filled with uncertainty and fear, they cling to control as a way to feel powerful and superior. Their biggest fear? The vulnerable freedom of real, equal relationships where no one has to constantly prove they're better than the other. In those moments, they feel like a ship without a compass, lost in an unpredictable ocean. So, they turn to manipulation, the subtle art of emotionally binding you to them. Whether it's guilt trips that cut deep or subtle critiques that erode your confidence, everything is designed to keep you under their influence. They might come off as charming, like a predator savoring the moment before striking, but it's all about taming your freedom. But here's the truth. You're not powerless in this game. You hold the key to breaking free. It all starts with the boundaries you set. Clear, firm, unshakable. Imagine building a protective wall around yourself, not from bricks and mortar, but from your principles and self-confidence. This wall isn't a prison. It's a shield that keeps out anything that could harm you. How do you put this into practice? Recognize the manipulation. Like a skilled detective, learn to see through the masks. If you suddenly feel guilty for no clear reason, or find yourself constantly on the defensive, that's a red flag you're being pulled into their game. The first step is to spot these patterns that try to control your actions. Stay consistent. Once you set a boundary, stand firm like a rock in a storm. Narcissists are experts at pushing boundaries, like waves crashing against the shore. But if the shore holds steady, the waves lose their power. You don't need to justify yourself. Your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Your no is your shield against further attacks. Protect your energy. Your energy is like the sun rising and setting over your own life. If someone's constantly feeding off your light, leaving you drained and in shadows, step back. Learn to guard your space and protect your time. When you distance yourself from toxic dynamics, you create the space you need to grow again, like a plant finding strength after a storm. Number 5. The real reason behind their anger. Narcissists often react with disproportionate anger when they feel challenged. But this anger isn't what it seems. It's just a defense mechanism. They're terrified of showing their weaknesses, and they project that fear onto you. Their anger is like shouting into the storm to cover up their inner insecurity. They hope that through aggression, they can regain control of the situation and protect their fragile facade. By staying calm and not getting pulled into their anger, you're taking away their control. But be cautious. Your calmness can make them even angrier. Why? Because you've taken away the most important tool they use to assert their power. When you stay quiet and don't reveal your emotions, their own fears and insecurities become even more evident. They feel cornered by your composure, which can lead to even more intense outbursts. The narcissist wants to provoke you so they can maintain control over your emotions and feel superior. But if you don't fall into their anger trap and keep your inner peace, you'll regain control over the situation. That's why I recommend checking out my video, Always Be Silent in 9 Situations, where I go deeper into this topic. By staying calm and stepping out of their emotional spiral, you can take away their power over you. Anger can only persist if you let it affect you. But if you remain calm and don't let them provoke you, you're not only maintaining control over your emotions, but you're also protecting your own inner strength. Number 6. They see in you what they can never be. Narcissists are often drawn to people who possess qualities they wish they had, like empathy, authenticity, or emotional strength. But instead of admiring these traits, they feel jealousy and frustration because deep down, they know they'll never be able to reach that level of depth. This envy can drive them to try to diminish you. They will attempt to undermine your positive qualities so that you don't recognize how valuable you truly are. Why? Because they're terrified that you might surpass them and take away the control they have over you. The solution? Strengthen your sense of identity and don't let their behavior shake your confidence. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the less they can manipulate you. Number 7. The ultimate trigger, your independence. For narcissists, there's nothing worse than seeing someone who is emotionally independent and stable. When you no longer need their control and start emotionally detaching from them, they feel deeply threatened. Your independence reminds them of their own inner emptiness and insecurity, something they desperately try to avoid. That's why they'll do anything to keep you within their reach. They'll manipulate, doubt you, or mess with your feelings. But here's the most important thing. Your independence is your greatest strength. When you detach from their opinions and live your own life, you take away their power. They can only dominate you if you allow it. Narcissists can teach us how crucial it is to protect our inner strength and self-worth. When you learn to understand yourself and set healthy boundaries, you free yourself from their influence and find your balance again. It's a journey of self-reflection, determination, and independence, but it's worth it. Stay true to yourself and surround yourself with people who appreciate your authenticity and support you along your path. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." So remember this: when you know your worth, every manipulation loses its power over you. After this, be sure to check out my video, 7 Ways to Respond to Gaslighting and Low Self-Worth, as it will guide you on your next step toward inner freedom and balance. I'll see you there.